I know I made another video so soon, but I had more things to say. I actually never, say enough. I feel like I always have something more to say, and it's like, girl, word count. It's been reached. You don't have to say anything else. But, okay, Lynn. Honestly, I've been really frustrated with anyone saying, oh, it's just not that deep. And even though I've definitely said that myself, most of the time, it just kind of is that deep. Of course, I think it's quite invalidating to say, oh, it's not that deep, it's not that deep. But for so many people, it is that deep. And it goes back to when people say, oh, you never know what someone's going through, which I feel like we should all always keep in mind. Because, maybe for some situations that seem quite superficial or shallow, and it seems like it isn't that deep, it just is. Any complication or whatever you want to call it that you have with someone, you're not necessarily arguing with the situation. You're arguing with them as a person and how they function. You're arguing with all the past events that have led to this moment. So most of the time, it really is that deep, and no one should ever make you feel like you shouldn't feel what you're feeling. Even if you know that you are in the wrong about something and you are still upset about some part of it, feel those feelings. You are entitled to your own feelings. Only you can feel them. Only you understand why you're feeling the way that you do. So if it is that deep to you, let it be that. Don't let that stop you from taking constructive criticism or hearing other people out and whatnot. But, if it is that deep, then that's okay. It can just kind of be that deep. And there have been, a lot of experiences that I've had where the other person doesn't feel it as deeply as I do, whether that's, romantic feelings or, concerning feelings for an argument, and they just don't fully understand where I'm coming from. And through those moments and through the years of dealing with that, I just kind of realized that, they just function differently as a person. It's not going to be about me exactly. It's not about me. It's about the situation, their moral compass, their principles, and what align with them and what don't. And I had to make peace with that, because sometimes it's not even worth the words if you just can kind of understand, okay, they function differently as a person, and it might be that deep for them, even if it's not for me, but I respect that. They are feeling their feelings, they are going through it, or going through the motions, I should say, and that's okay. It's just really irritating just to hear it, for someone to say to you, it's just not that deep, or it's not that serious, is one of the most annoying things you can hear. Truly, I would genuinely rather someone say to my face, I'm sorry, I just don't really feel as deeply as you do about it, but I can see that you feel deeply about it, so let's continue this conversation, rather than it's not that deep. It's not that deep to you. It's fully that deep to me. I'm feeling these feelings. Are you? No. That's why it's that deep. And you know what? This is probably why I have some trouble in relationships, because I know that I'm a huge overthinker. I'm a huge overcommunicator. I'm someone that hates being misunderstood, so everything has to be so deep to me, and I have to feel it the way that I do and stuff. And so when I can just always, without fail, I read when people are just not feeling it as much as I am. And then, of course, I will choose either continue or not and whatnot, depending on, how much value I hold for them, or just, how much impact they have on my life and my day-to-day. But it's just, such an annoying feeling to sit there and seek this clarification from anything and just know that you won't be able to, because they're just not thinking about it as deeply as you are. To have the ability to not think about something is such a gift. Gosh, what solace that must be. What solace that must be. Shit. I don't understand that. That's never been a reality for me. that I can never not think about something. I can say, like, okay, I'm just going to try and, like, keep it off my mind by being more busy. But even then, in those moments where I am alone and all I really have is my thoughts, I'm going to think about it. I'm going to think about it. It doesn't really matter how much I care or don't care, because even if I don't fully care about it, it's still something I'm going to think about. It's still, like, trivial. So I just wish I could have that. Like, I wish I could not think about it. But yeah, it is that deep. It is that deep. And if you see someone that you're arguing with that clearly is thinking more deeply about it than you are, I feel as though you should give them that care. Maybe not should. But it would be, in my opinion, the right thing to do to give them that care and that clarification that they're looking for. Because it's like, especially if you know that person, if you know it's going to, like, rack their brain and they have expressed, like, oh, like, I have trouble with overthinking, and you just don't really do anything about it, or you don't put in that effort, even from, like, a regular human perspective, like, I would still give someone that reassurance even if I didn't know them. Like, I don't know, that's not a crazy take at all, I fear. But yeah, everything is that deep. Every reaction we have that we cannot we control our actions, but every reaction that we have, everything that we do, all the choices that we make are absolutely influenced by how we grew up. I would never blame it on that per se. It can be reasoning, but don't act crazy and be like, oh, I act this way because XYZ. It can be a reason, but it can't be a cop-out. And it's really hard to even, like, break down in a way of, like, I don't even know how to explain how to even truly have perspective on how I grew up. Because I grew up, I had a fine childhood. It was great, actually. My mother did everything she was supposed to do and more and everything. But, then you really start to think about it. And, like, I would think about maybe some equivalents that me and my mother have when it comes to just the choices that we make. Like, it truly is monkey see, monkey do. She is one of the strongest women I know. So I definitely get that from her, maybe a little bit more from my dad. But when she is upset and overthinking, I'm the same as her. And I see it every time, and it makes me think about, like, oh, this is how people see me, of course. But she is emotional. I don't know a time where my mother ever made me feel bad about being emotional. There was never a time. All I do is cry. I haven't had a good cry in a minute. I was just talking about this emotion, but I have not been able to cry in weeks. That's so, like, out of the ordinary for me. It's very out of character. I usually would cry every other day, if not every day for some reason. Just because that's just how, like, that's my initial reaction. If I'm upset, I cry. If I'm sad, I'm going to cry. If I'm happy, I'm probably going to cry. Like, I just need to release. That's the only way I can release these emotions is by crying. Another thing, don't let someone make you feel bad about crying. Okay? Like, and maybe I have the perspective of when people cry, it's a really vulnerable state, so I should always take it seriously and just, like, always make sure they're doing okay. But, like, if someone is crying in front of you, that's, like, a big deal, I feel like. Like, don't, like, when people say, oh, like, guys that go to sleep with their girlfriend crying, like, that's really scary. May that never find me. Never let someone make you feel like you shouldn't be crying. Like, if you gotta cry, then cry. Like, I'll stay here while you cry. We can cry. Like, shit. It brought me there too, girl. We might as well cry together. I tried to get my life together today. I don't know if it worked or not. We'll see by tomorrow. I'm supposed to be waking up at 8. More like 7:40. They'll leave the house by 9 to get to work at 10. To send all my taxes to Trump. Not all, but basically all. It's just insane. I was really talking about this with my friend Genesis, maybe even today. But to know that Trump is still in office is just like, it's a genuine sadness. Other countries are looking at us and they're worried about us too because we're doing too much. It's like we are. I can't even get into what I want to get into. I really can't. He's gonna get me. I know he's gonna find it. He's gonna get me. But I just can't believe. I really thought that Kamala was gonna win. I went to sleep that night thinking to myself, wow, Kamala's going to win. Everything's going to get better. You know, it's going to be Obama Part 2, relatively, even though she does support the opposite of Palestine. But you have to pick the lesser of two evils sometimes. Like, that's all politics is, picking the lesser of two evils, because no one will have, like, you know, a full, correct, freaking opinion. And also, I appreciate that we're in a time of, like, setting boundaries with people and understanding self-worth and stuff, but what happened to inconveniencing yourself for your friends? Like, I'm really happy that I found friends that will do that, and I will obviously reciprocate, but damn, there are just people that won't even try to walk in your shoes. Not to say that, like, they should try, but it's like, if you want to gain perspective, you should be at least trying to consider the other person's point of view and feelings. Like, that should just be at the base. Come on. Like, I don't know. My friends are just they're so wonderful, and I will always inconvenience myself for them because they're my friends. Like, I literally saw a video on this, like, what happened to helping someone move in and da-da-da-da. I had just experienced that. My friends helping, and I was like, this is community. This is community forever. But I've met people where they'll say shit like, this is too much of an inconvenience for me. And it's like, all I asked for you to do is just, like, be my friend. But I digress. But yeah, it's just so frustrating when you realize that you and another person will never be able to connect. Like, let's say in a way of you start talking to someone and you finally get to that, like, straw that broke the camel's back type thing, or you get to them giving you a sign that's like, oh, this is as far as our connection goes. Like, you will not be able to understand me past this point. It's so frustrating. It's like, bro, okay. Like, I know what this could be if you just kind of open your mind. And you know what? I've probably done that too. Let me not be too much of a hypocrite. I've probably done this as well. But it's like, if you can just tell that it's like, oh, probably, like, I still like you and I still want to talk to you, but you have shown me that this probably won't work out. And then that's where, like, attachment gets really, really difficult. Really difficult. It's like, well, but I'm so attached that it's like, I wouldn't have done this in the first place if I knew that this is what was going to happen. If I knew that, you know, you just can't be there as much as I hoped that you could. But at the same time, like, is it better to speak or to die? Sometimes you just have to do it. Like, never feel bad for taking a chance and putting yourself out there. God forbid a girl puts herself out there, like, creatively. But never feel bad for putting yourself out there. Giving things a chance. Like, that's totally fine. It's fine not to as well, but, you know, don't feel bad about actually trying for someone or just seeing things through and stuff. Like, life is about the experiences. Like, life is what you make of it. Life is a beautiful thing.